Okay, this is the next episode of All Apologies, Guilt, and Blame. It's the third book in the series, Life Beyond Silence. My first book was Not a Victim, a Survivor, Life Beyond Domestic Violence and Rape. My second book was Losing Touch with Reality. And this is my third podcast. So I did a podcast on each book. I guess I'm kind of doing the podcasts because I want to finalize everything, kind of reflect and put my thoughts out there that weren't in the book, my thoughts now, how I feel now, and kind of add to what I had written so long ago. But in that last episode, I was talking about my childhood and things I remembered. And I also talked about my children. And truly, I am blessed to have 4 beautiful children who have grown up to be beautiful adults and adding to the communities the way they are. They're doing good. All of them are doing good. And I'm very proud of that. Even though there'd be a lot said by my family that I wasn't necessarily responsible for however they turned out, or how good they turned out, or however they would put it. They would put it as it's not your responsibility that they're great people. They just grew up to be great people. And I get that. I totally get that. I'm guilty of being not the best mom in the world. I would kind of say that I was going through some really dark times. I don't know if I was bipolar. I don't know if I was severe depression. I don't know what it was. At times I felt psychotic. I really did. I was on a path that was just riddled with issues. And every time I turned around, I made a bad choice. I was skating by that. I was just really hanging on by a thread. And of course, I had 4 little kids. And even after my oldest left, I still had 3 kids that were having to live with me. And they suffered. But like I had said in the past, it's not like everything I ever did was so horrible. I have good memories and I have bad memories. I have good memories of cookouts, of going to town in Germany, all of us. Of course, my son wasn't there because he was born in the United States. But I have good memories of birthdays and Christmases mainly. Just great Christmases when they were growing up. I have good memories. Not all were bad. But a lot of people in my family don't see it that way. And I've been labeled a black sheep of my family for years. I don't know that there's really anything good that they would have to say about me. My mother has always said things like, you always seem to manage some way. You pick yourself up and, I don't know, you always seem to hold down a job or, manage. And yes, I did need help quite a bit from my mother and my father, especially when my children were little. I did ask for help. I did beg for help, like with my dad. I would have to tell him, listen to him scold me, and pretty much beg. And then sometimes there'd even be a hang up, and then he'd call me back and say, okay, I'm going to send this to you, but you've got to start doing this or start doing that. And my mother, she helped me. Every time I just didn't have it at all, she helped. My dad helped. And don't think I don't feel guilty about that, or I don't feel sorry about that, because I do. I do. I didn't, back then, I just didn't know how to manage everything. And I had ex-husbands that weren't doing their part. I mean, I get it. My first husband, he did everything, I guess, that he should have done. He paid all the bills. He took care of all the money. He had a roof over my head. But he drank. And I don't know how to say it any better than that. He drank until he was drunk. And he also was just totally cold to me. And I was young. And I wanted love and affection and security and happiness. And yeah, I had the security, but I didn't have the happiness. And I know I didn't have the love. And then with Walker, there I was wanting the same thing. And yeah, he gave me his money to help out with the bills and everything. And I was working, and we weren't like barely skating by. It was okay. But he was an abuser. And when I say abuser, it wasn't just domestic violence towards me. He was an addict. He was an alcoholic. And all my dreams went out the window. And then came going to Germany. Yeah. Kyle put, he gave me his money, and it was enough to survive. But then I don't know what happened. I'm sure he doesn't really know what happened either. It just fell apart. It just literally fell apart. But I do know that he became somebody that I didn't even know. He wasn't the all-American man that I had thought I married. He was, I don't know, he was taking advantage, and sexual advantage of the situation. And I mean, I said it all in a podcast, and I said it all in the book, but finding out that he was finding out he was masturbating to pornos at work. He had visited the red light district. He was a sex addict. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. All I know is by the time I got to Phil, oh my God, by the time Phil came in my life, yeah, we struggled and we had 4 kids. We struggled to put food on the table, to pay bills. And I know that that wasn't what he wanted in life. He didn't want all the responsibility and the bills. And, he got with a woman that had 3 kids already, and then we had a baby together. And I don't know. His life wasn't what he had envisioned, so he wasn't happy. And then come to find out that he was masturbating on the side too. And assaulted, or I don't know how they put it in the end, sexual misconduct with a neighbor. Battery, maybe. I don't know. But it's just a roller coaster ride. Nobody was the one that I was hoping to find. And I put myself in that situation. I'm the one that just kept digging myself a bigger hole. And I don't know how to put it. My life got dark. And then when all of it was over with, which hopefully you've been listening to my other podcasts, but by the time I had screwed up so many times, my family, it's not like they quit talking to me. There was no coming back from everything. They just wrote me off as being the worst mother ever, maybe. I just kept making so many mistakes. They just figured I was never going to straighten my life up. And they just wrote me off. And I get that. I've lived through that for so long that I've accepted it. I've just accepted that there's no coming back. Everything I did wrong stays with me, ends with me. But, I don't know what to say. I've done so many things, and I'm sorry for everything. Truly, truly sorry. If I could go back in time and take so many things back, you know how some people have like one thing in their life they wish they could undo or go back and redo. I have many, all the way back. And when I say all the way back, I mean it. All the way back. It's just I've literally felt every fall into hell that I've had. Like, every mistake I made, I realized it. Nobody had to tell me, there's another mistake, Kim, you're a fuck up. Nobody had to say that. I knew it the minute I made a mistake. But there wasn't anything I could do. Because you can't take it back. And all those years of wanting it to just be let go, wanting them to just let it go and let me be accepted, try to win over the fact that, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes, but, you know, I'm still your daughter. I'm still a part of the family. Give me a chance. Well, they would say they gave me lots of chances and I failed. And I would say, they're right. I did. I failed. So, everything I feel now, at my age, all the guilt and all the pain, I get it. It's never going to go away. It never has gone away. And I'm just going to carry it to my grave. You know, I used to have a dream that, you know, I was going to die alone. When it came my time, I would die alone. No man, no family, no nothing. And I would know that I'm dying. Like I would have that knowledge of knowing that I was slipping away. And I know that sounds dramatic and, you know, stupid to say maybe. But I didn't want to die like that. I didn't want to die alone without anybody that loved me near me. But now, you know, I think I've come to think that that might be the best way. It's not that I don't think my kids love me, especially the 3 that still see me. I do know that they do love me. I guess I would say in their own way, they love me. Or when you get right down to it, they still love me. Even after everything in my past, they still accept that I'm their mom and they do still care about me. And I know my dad loves me, and I know maybe my mom even loves me in her own way. And I know I don't have a man, so there you go. But I do think that maybe it would be best, you know, my kids will be fine, all of them. My oldest will just go about her life. Hopefully she'll be okay, you know. And hopefully she'll accept someday that I did love her. And that I was okay. That I accepted what had happened and I was okay. My middle one, I think, will take care of everything when I die, and I think she'll be ready for it, you know. She'll just accept that it was my time. And I think my youngest daughter will do the same. It's not like I don't think they'll think of me, because I do. Especially the fact that I'm not there when my grandkids graduate or get married, things like that. And my son, he'll be fine. He's got his dad. I think he'll just miss me too, a little bit. But I think it would be better just to die alone and hopefully find solace on the other side. I have always believed in God, and I think God has always been with me. I think I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God and for my grandfather. I think he's watching over me. But I think God knows how I feel. I think he knows what's in my heart. I think he knows I'm sorry. That I wish I could take everything back and do it all over again. But I think God will also give me peace. I think I've carried a lot of guilt for so long and a lot of pain. I think I'll find peace on the other side. Of course, I think many people feel that way, but I believe it. I believe that when you die, if you go to heaven, that there's no worries, and there's peace, and no pain. All the aches and pains I feel with getting old will be gone too. I don't know. There's a lot to say. There's still a lot to say on this podcast. So please keep listening. Please. I know I get over dramatic sometimes. I don't mean to. I just do. Sometimes I just start crying and I don't mean to. I don't know if I'm over everything that ever happened. I say it that I'm okay, but I think it's a lot. I used to describe it as holding on to the ledge by your fingertips and praying that you can continue to do that. You can hold on as long as you need to. That's the way I used to describe my life. I'm just barely holding on. But I'm doing the best I can to do that as long as I can. And for the most part, that's pretty well how most of my life has been. Yeah, now things are a little bit different. I'm older. I'm retired. I'm on disability because of my heart. I got a settlement because of the whistleblower thing. All of that's in the earlier podcasts. And yeah, that's, you would think that would be great. And it does give me a little relief. It does. As far as financial issues, yeah. But not really. I've overextended myself just like I did when I had no money. But I'm trying. I'm trying to keep going. Even if it's by my fingertips, hanging off a ledge. There's a lot more to this story. Please keep listening. I'm so sorry I'm a big talker. I don't mean to be. And I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. I did this podcast because I wanted to get out my feelings. I wanted to tell my story. I don't know. I wanted to leave a record of how I felt, of how sorry I was, of how I wish I could take it all back. I wanted everybody to know just how sorry I was. And just how much I know you can't take it back. Okay, that's it. I think I've said enough for today, but please keep listening. There's lots more to come. I appreciate everyone that is listening, and if you have a comment or a question, I will do my best to answer them. Thank you a lot. See you next time.